I have my notes. I was taking notes. I can't say I was taking notes in the car, but I went through this song by song to make sure everything I thought about it was written down. So to ask you about it, because there's nothing like the horse's mouth. So the first song, Calm Before the Storm, you kind of caught me out there with this one because I had a thought about what it was going to be. And it wasn't that. In fact, it was so sad.
It is a sad song.
And it's like, where did you get the inspiration for that?
Well, I got it from two things. First of all, Lloyd Stone, who was still my good buddy and was our light man for many years. Lloyd was in the Navy at the time. He was a chief, and his ship went over to Desert Storm.
Okay.
And he had family and loved ones here that he was leaving. I could see it in his face the last time that we saw him off at the dock, just like we met him at the dock when he came back. It was a sad time to see him go. And, you never want to see, even though they're on a ship and it's pretty safe, I guess you could say in modern times, you never can tell what would happen in a war footing in terms of, military personnel. So I was thinking about Lloyd and the people he was leaving. That was one thing. But also, I at that particular time, not too many people had a really positive outlook for women in the military.
Right.
It was still a highly debated issue. And the first verse says, knowing there's a reason for her going off to war. I really wanted to make a statement about women in the military to let them know that basically, you see guys waving goodbye to their wives and girlfriends and stuff like that. There are women on those ships that are waving goodbye to their husbands and their brothers and their fathers and their boyfriends. Those kinds of relationships are just as meaningful, and those moments of goodbye are just as, I guess you could say, emotional and sometimes sad. And I wanted to make sure that I included that in the process of the writing the vocal, the lyrics. So I did.
Well, that was a tearjerker. And like I said before, I think I took I don't know what I expected. I just didn't expect what I heard. And it's a great tune. It's a great tune.
Well, I mean, the thing is that I still, when I sit around and practice my acoustic fingerpicking, that's one that I like to practice because I play along, with the recording for two reasons. First of all, Mike Munden's violin solo is so poignant. I mean, that man just grabbed that song and just made it happen. I mean, he brought out all the emotional energy that the song was trying to get across to the audience, and just made it happen. And of course, Stevie had his strings, low in the background, but they had moments when they actually rose, especially in the end part of the instrumental that trails out the song. So that was, a really, really nice, I guess you could say, combination of instruments, and the people who played on that were just absolutely stunning. I just really, it needed to be the first song, even though it's not, I guess you could say, an up-tempo thing, which a lot of people lead an album off with. It brings an emotional quality, I guess you could say, to the album, which, you go from that to Kinky with My Baby. At the end of the day, that you have a broad swath of emotion and humor and rock and roll. But I wanted that to be the opening statement because it meant so much. Just I thought, especially coming from a military area, to so many people.
Two old friends sit talking about the glory days galore. days when they were far too young to care. Knowing there's a reason for her going off to war, and missing her the time that she's not there. And two young hearts beat softly along the sandy shore, far beyond the fading of the light. Knowing there's a reason for him going off to war, and knowing that they only have one night. He's been holding her just long enough to feel her trembling hand as she thinks about the way their lives are torn. The sand within their hourglass falls on a distant shore, just waiting out the calm before the storm. Been holding her just long enough to feel a broken heart, as he leaves her hoping she'll be safe and warm. The sand within their hourglass falls on a distant shore, just waiting out the calm before the storm. Just waiting out the calm before the storm.